Now we will hear from Tom Tarantino. Your testimony, please.
Mr. Chairman and members of both committees, thank you for inviting IAVA to present our legislative priorities for 2010. On behalf of our 180,000 members and supporters, we would like to thank both committees for your unwavering commitment to our nation's veterans. Every year, we have come to this committee with our most pressing issues, and you have stepped up in a historic and unprecedented way. You were instrumental in the passage of the post-9/11 GI Bill, advance appropriations, record VA budget increases, and even mandatory person-to-person mental health screenings for every returning service member. On behalf of our members, several of which are here today, I'd like to personally thank you. As an OIF veteran with 10 years of service in the Army, I've seen firsthand the difficulties that many veterans face when transitioning from service member over to veteran. There's the wounded warrior who's torn from their service due to their extraordinary sacrifice, dealing with physical and mental health injuries. And then there's the young veteran who has spent most of their formative years in uniform. For both, the transition can be difficult and sometimes feel impossible. It's because of these veterans that last year, when IAVA presented our legislative priorities, we asked a simple question. Are we ready for the surge of veterans coming home? Unfortunately, with record high suicide rates within the military, hundreds of thousands of veterans desperately waiting for their earned VA benefits, and skyrocketing veteran unemployment, the answer is still, in spite of everything we have already done, no. And once again, we're coming to this committee with a blueprint for addressing these problems head on. We are ready to work with you to fundamentally change the way America cares for veterans, and copies of the full legislative agenda can be found outside as well as on IAVA.org. However, today I'd like to highlight our top 5 priorities for the remainder of the 111th Congress. First and foremost, we must modernize the VA claims processing system. We hear the calls of our members, 10,000 of which signed a petition last week in support of reform. And we stand shoulder to shoulder with our fellow veteran service organizations in saying that modernizing the VA claims processing system is the most critical priority for the VA and these committees in 2010. DAV National Commander Bobby Barrera led it off in these testimonies earlier this month when he said, a core mission of the VA is to provide benefits to relieve the economic effects of disability on veterans and their families. The VA must properly deliver them to veterans. Protracted delays in providing these benefits mean disabled veterans and their families suffer hardships. Protracted delays can lead to deprivation, bankruptcies, and homelessness. And Iraq and Afghanistan veterans are receiving benefits under a VA disability system that was outdated years before most of them were even born. This antiquated system, which focuses on quantity over quality, leads to frequent errors, countless bureaucratic red tape, and a lengthy wait for benefits. With VA benefits backlog climbing ever higher, IAVA recommends a modern claims processing system that digitizes records, holds processors accountable for the accuracy of their work, and removes unnecessary steps in the evaluation process. We also seek to streamline and simplify the post-9/11 GI Bill. The new GI Bill is the greatest investment in veterans and their families since World War II. However, a significant number of veterans have been shortchanged. Additionally, many veterans who have tried to use their benefits have been left waiting for checks as they struggle to pay with their living and scholastic expenses. IAVA proposes upgrades to the new GI Bill that will streamline VA processing times by pruning bureaucratic steps and providing all veterans with this generous and equitable benefit. We also must secure jobs for our nation's heroes. In the last year, the unemployment rate for new veterans has nearly doubled, and employers are growing increasingly weary of hiring or reemploying National Guardsmen and reservists who have been mobilized at unprecedented rates. Congress must help veterans find gainful employment by leveraging federal contracting rules, supporting veteran entrepreneurship, and providing tax credits to employers who hire new veterans. We also must eliminate combat stress stigma. More service members were killed by their own hands last year than in combat in Iraq. One of the largest obstacles that service members must overcome before seeking help is the heavy stigma associated with mental health injuries. The IAVA recommends that we declare war on this dangerous stigma by launching a well-funded, research-driven, integrated nationwide campaign to promote the use of Department of Defense and VA services, such as vet centers and the Suicide Prevention Hotline. And finally, we must support better health care for female veterans. Women veterans have shown enormous dedication and courage in defending their country, but too often they do not receive the same level of support within the military and the VA as their male counterparts. IAVA recommends bold steps to improve military and VA healthcare and benefits for women warriors and transitional services to reduce the staggering rates of homelessness and significant expansion of resources to those coping with military sexual trauma. Caring for men and women who defend freedom is a solemn responsibility. It belongs to lawmakers, veterans, and citizens alike. IAVA believes that in the past several years, we have seen a turning point in how we care and provide for our nation's warriors. However, despite critical successes and positive moves towards a system that honors their service and sacrifice, we must remain ever vigilant and continue to show them that we have their backs. Thank you for your time and attention.